y'all, what's going on? This is Bexy Beauty. So I'm going to be doing a reaction video for y'all today. The reaction is going to be based off of a Netflix series that just dropped on Christmas Day. This is actually the day after Christmas. I have been forcing myself to wait to do this reaction video for y'all because y'all, I was going to watch the whole thing on Christmas Day with my family upstairs opening up their gifts because y'all don't understand. Me and this series have had a long-standing history before they even greenlit this series to be done. I already loved it, and so I'm hoping that this love remains intact because y'all know sometimes books get made into series and then they do terrible and the struggle is real. The series I'm going to be reacting to today is called Bridgerton. The author of the books that the series is based off of, her name is Julia Quinn. She is, I cannot stress this enough, y'all, an exceptional writer, okay? I was actually in 8th grade when I first read one of her first books, okay? I was a little 13-year-old girl, and you see back then, I grew up in a little Pentecostal Christian home, okay? And so my very Pentecostal pastor parents were not about to let their little 13-year-old daughter read a romance novel. I had to take my little allowance money, buy the book with my money, sneak home, and get under the covers and read this romance novel, and y'all, I flew through it in like a day and a half. And so everything else that Julia Quinn has ever written, I have read and fallen in love with. But the best out of all of her writings to date has been a series based off of this family called the Bridgertons. So there are 8 children in the Bridgerton family. The series is set in the Regency era of the 1800s. Each Bridgerton child has one book based off of their romance story. I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that there was a lot of different things that were going on when it came to the casting of this show. They did diversity casting. You know, I'm a black girl, and in the Regency era in the 1800s in England, we were there, but we weren't lords and ladies and dukes and duchesses and things along that line. And so I'm seeing black people in the casting of this series, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm always here for diversity casting, but I don't like blind casting, and I will explain that once we get into it. So I'm going to see what they do with this, okay? About a year ago when they said that they were going to be dropping this show, it came out that Shonda Rhimes, okay, the creator of Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, along with a myriad of other different shows, that Shonda Rhimes, that she was going to be collaborating with Julia Quinn to bring this show to Netflix. So y'all, already my mind was blown. And then they gonna come back like a month later and drop that the Julie Andrews. Okay, if you don't know who Julie Andrews is, shame on you. You must be living under a rock. The Julie Andrews, that she was going to be narrating the show. My little heart can't take it. We're going to get into the the shade of it all, because in the Julia Quinn books there was a lot of shade, there was a lot of messiness, there was a lot of drama and crazy, okay? And so I am here for all of it. So let's jump right in, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do the reaction. I'm gonna let it play, and hopefully they did the books justice, okay? Here we go. Bridgertons. Woo! Oh, already the sets, honey.
She likes me much better than you, Ben.
That's Colin?
Everyone says that.
Okay.
Daphne! You must make haste!
Well, that's definitely Eloise from the books.
Did you think she heard me?
I'm assuming this is Daphne. I can see it for the casting. I can definitely see it.
Where is he, Benedict?
I do not know.
Oh! Not in front of the servants, child.
Flawless, my dear.
This casting actually might be historically accurate according to some historians. Queen Charlotte was black. I'm not mad at it so far. If you've ever seen Outlander, I thought it was going to have more of that type of feeling, like a little bit grittier and more realistic in nature, like as far as the aesthetic of it. We're gonna see when we get.
My name is Lady Whistledown.
Yes!
You do not.
I should gladly sit
This is
seat
a
out.
perfect
Penelope's.
person to play Penelope.
What she is 2 stone heavier than she ought to be.
Blemishes on her face are quite difficult to conceal.
Oh,
Perhaps an arsenic and lead might help. Should you allow me to do
Okay, I think that this is Simon. I think this is the guy that's going to be playing Simon, the Duke. Ooh, child, where is my fan?
For my sore eyes.
He is fine.
Your regrets are denied.
Period. If you have not been able to tell, Lady Danbury runs this, okay? Nobody tells her no. And I love her. She is one of my favorite characters in the whole series.
Small glasses.
Bird book. I'm not entirely sure the matter in which we discussed, my lord.
Right. Ugh.
Pardon me.
Forgive me.
Accosting you.
Surely they will try anything.
Oh,
Sir, that is not...
the arrogance.
This is not...
You appear displeased.
Do I?
We find ourselves seated beside each other, Miss Bridgerton. I would like to think you're happy about that.
Perhaps, Your Grace. It would be better if you refrained from thinking about me at all.
Oh,
And I, anything but interested in you. The eldest sister of my oldest friend, yet another recent subject of a certain writer, chaste, neat, desperate.
I shall have you
To
know.
marry, that is.
yeah, clean it up.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Woo! The production on this, y'all, the sets. Wow.
Whatever are you doing?
Ugh.
Nigel, not now.
Right.
Nigel, do you think yourself better than me?
Yes.
No one wants you.
Oh, he's wildin'. Yes. Come on, Daphne. I love that she saved herself.
Dark Walk is merely a few steps away.
That's it.
And I am alone
You got
with
to
two
go.
men.
I believe you're in... We could pretend to form an attachment. If this is to work, you must appear madly in love.
Woo! Do y'all see the wow on the production? I know I keep saying it, but shots keep like wow.
Yours truly, Lady Whistledown.
Yes. Yes. Okay. The shade of it all. The messiness of it all. Yes, ma'am, Pam. Okay. I am here for it. Y'all, like I said, I have read the book series from front to back. This is my favorite romance author since I was 13. So I have been waiting with bated breath, okay, for this series to drop. I have pros and cons with what I'm seeing. I have 3 cons. The overall aesthetic of the show, a few casting choices, and the writing of the show, like the dialogue. Julia Quinn writes with intelligence. She writes funny. It's like really funny, and she writes with like a dry wit. It's at a certain pace, and it's just, I can tell that Julia Quinn is not writing these episodes. Now, this is only the first episode. Maybe as it unfolds, it'll be a little different. We shall see. As far as the overall aesthetic, I said it in the beginning and I still feel this way. I was expecting this to be a little bit more like, if you've ever seen Outlander. It's a TV show based off of a book series. I think it comes on Stars or HBO or something like that. That show is the aesthetic that I thought that this was kind of going to be giving. However, Outlander is set in Scotland in a certain time period when it was a little grimy and grittier. And then this is set in the Regency era in the 1800s of England, in the upper echelons of society. Like, they're going to see the Queen. You see their costumes. So it was a little cleaner. I just feel like this was more of a fantasy feel of the Regency 1800s instead of more of a realistic look. As far as casting choices, I have pros and cons on that. So I'm going to start with the Bridgerton children. There are 8 of them. About 5 of them were really important in this first episode. So I'll just go with those. So Anthony, I am not... This man on the TV show is very attractive, and they got that part right. He does look in the face like Anthony, but his body is very wiry. I don't get the vibe that he is like older brother like he was portrayed in the books. The second brother, Benedict, I believe he is a spot-on casting choice. He looks just like they describe Benedict in the books, and so there's not too much to say about that. The third brother is Colin, and I believe, having the biggest casting issue with Colin, specifically because in the books, Colin is described as having this swagger, and he has an overabundance of charm, and all the ladies like him, all the men want to be like him. He has this vibe that comes with him that's like dripping charm, and I saw exactly 0 of that in this episode. He's coming across as a sweet boy. I will say though that in the books, by the time we get to his story with the woman that he falls in love with, he's a little older. And so I'm thinking maybe he's supposed to come across as a boy because this is years before his story. And so maybe he will grow into that man who has that, you know, swagger and charm like he has in the books, and he carries himself a certain way, and women fall all over themselves to be around him. But for right now, Daphne, who is the oldest girl, I believe, in the Bridgerton clan, this was a perfect casting choice to me for her. I believe she looks like the Daphne in the book. She comes across that way. Eloise, 100% the same type of vibe as the book. Outside of the Bridgerton clan, there is the Duke. Y'all. Okay, I have already said it a few times, but that man is hot. Okay. Whew. Just want to fan myself one more time, okay? Perfect casting choice. Moving on. Also, Lady Danbury, I love this woman and the way she's playing her. She definitely gives me the same vibes, same energy as Lady Danbury does in the book. I am here for all of it. So, perfect casting choice for Lady Danbury. The only other person that is very important to me as far as casting choices, this might be the best casting choice I've ever seen in my life, is Penelope. I don't know the name of the girl who's playing Penelope. They found the exact perfect person, I cannot stress enough, to play Penelope Featherington. She grows exponentially in the course of the book series, and if they keep this series going, you're gonna see that. So I'm very, very happy about that. As far as the casting in general, y'all, you see that they did diversity casting. I have no problem with diversity casting. I believe that it's a great thing for Black people to be shown in places that they were not seen at those time frames. Black people were there in England in the Regency era in the 1800s, but they were not dukes and duchesses and lords and ladies, and y'all know why. Okay, I think it's really amazing for my people to be seen in that way. However, I do not believe in blind casting. Blind casting is when a production company or director or casting company will say, we don't see color. We're just gonna cast, you know, people based off of blah, 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 blah. Y'all, yes, you do see color, okay? Everybody sees color. I'm a Black woman. I'm not white. I'm not Latina. I am not a Native American girl. I'm a Black woman. I'm a Black girl. So you see that. And so I don't like when people say, I don't see color, because that kind of diminishes all of our different cultures, all of our different life experiences. You see I'm Black, okay? Don't say you don't see my Blackness. All right, so because of that, I like diversity casting, and that usually involves some type of way where in the dialogue it explains why maybe, you know, Black people are there. And I'm hoping that they do something like that instead of just blind casting and not explaining it in some way, shape, or form why Black people are there. And I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'm just hoping that they do. I think that it just makes for a better overall storyline, because ain't nobody stupid. I'm hoping that they can explain it somehow. Is that too much to ask for? I don't know. As far as the music goes, y'all, certain parts of the score was epic and beautiful and sweeping. And then I heard Ariana Grande somewhere. I didn't need that. Like, y'all, we in the 1800s. Why am I hearing Ariana Grande? Like, no, that's a choice. You know, it's a choice. I didn't like it, but, you know, moving on. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people when the trailer dropped were like, oh, they stole their whole series from Gossip Girl because it's like Pride and Prejudice, but the whole situation with the narrator talking over what's going on in the society is like Gossip Girl. And it's like, y'all, us book readers have been saying this since the trailer dropped. Julia Quinn wrote her book series years before Gossip Girl ever came out. So actually, when I used to watch Gossip Girl, I used to be like, did they steal this from Julia Quinn from her Bridgerton books? Because this is the exact same thing. And so we've been saying this for years. So just so y'all know, Gossip Girl probably stole the storyline from Julia Quinn, but we're gonna keep that on the hush, okay? All right, y'all, so that is it. Like I said, pros and cons. I don't think that they murdered the show. I actually think that they did pretty well. It's not exactly what I thought it would be, which is normal. When you're a book reader, nothing's gonna ever be exactly what you expected it to be from what's in your head. But so far, so good. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm probably gonna do one more reaction video for episode 2, and then I'm just gonna have to fly right through the rest of them, because y'all, I need to see what's going on. I know what's coming in the series, but I want to see how true they stay to the storyline. Let me know what you thought of the series in the comment section below. Do not give any spoilers below to the people, okay? Just because I know what's coming and you may know what's coming because you watched or read a book, don't mean you have to spoil it. All right, y'all, so I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.